Hey, so something I talk to my people about all the time is like being consistent. So little changes made consistently over time, that's what's going to get your results. You don't need to change everything all at once because that gets a little bit too much for people. So I always use the analogy, it's a building analogy about being 2 degrees out. So you imagine if I'm 2 degrees out at the bottom, by the time it gets to the top, my building's almost falling over. So if you think about that and use that in terms of habits for yourself, one little change will make for a big difference in the future.
Consistency is key, and staying consistent with the smaller things done most frequently. For example, in a lot of my clients with strength and conditioning, some of the first things we actually go through is walking technique, because we're meant to do 10,000 steps a day, right? So if we're doing 10,000 steps a day, but every time we take a step, we're contributing to our hip pain, then you're going to have a hell of a lot of hip pain. And I can do all the things in the gym the one time or the 2 times a week that I see you, but that's not going to offset those 70,000 steps a day that you're doing every week. So sometimes the smallest things that are the most consistent things are the most beneficial things to our health outcomes in the long term. My other favorite thing to think about in our health changes or lifestyle changes is that for health outcomes in the long term, we just need to know where we're going, because you can be like meandering all of the way there. It might take you a little bit longer than you wanted to, but you get there in the end because you know the direction you're headed. Sometimes we make some decisions, have a boozy night out, whatever, it happens. So long as you then go and make choices the next day or the following week to just meander back in the direction that you wanted to go health-wise, then you're going to be on track. So rather than being like, oh no, I've got to start next week because this week's written off, well, we have a hell of a lot of seconds every single day to make a choice, and we can choose in any one of those seconds that we choose to just meander back in the direction that we want to go. Because why wait after the next meal, after the next day, after the next week? Then it just compounds and ends up being way off track all of a sudden. So small things, choices done daily, consistently, over time, that's what's going to get you there.